Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, August 3rd. We are looking at Window Traders' market profile of the SPY, IWM, and triple Qs. And regardless of whether they trade this S&P like a penny stock or not, it's still my responsibility to trade it as a pro and not an amateur. I can tell you right now, I traded like an amateur today and got destroyed. I didn't do any trading after E. I got hurt in B, and I got hurt pretty good in B, got hurt really bad in E. We'll go over all that in a minute. As far as the other ones, triple Qs with almost an outside day up. I don't think they got it. I'm looking right now on the chart where they have them settling. Looks like they're settling 7 cents lower or 12 cents lower than, 7 cents lower than yesterday's high. So no outside day up for triple Qs. They have a pullback in J, they have the high, low, and they also have a price probe. Remember, we all went out with price probes to the downside yesterday. Well, two of us go out with price probes to the upside today. Us, ES, SPY, and NQ and Qs. Russell doesn't take out its IB. Opens, pushes down $4 and spends the rest of the day taking all $4 back, but never takes out the IB. They have the day's high, the day's low, and G as an afternoon pullback. Now, triple Qs and ES. We open, couldn't get the POC and A, push right down, rip through yesterday's low. B takes out A's low, like right to the balance low. Balance rules. If you don't follow balance rules after these last 2 days, you better start following them. Because yesterday we got to within $1 of the balance high. Today we got within 12 cents of the balance low. Now, did I expect it to go from today's low to what we did today? Not a shot. Not a shot. And that's where I got hurt. So I took a long, actually, an A period, because there was no real tempo to the downside, 437 calls. That was my only winning trade of the day. Wasn't a big one either. B period took out A's low. I did not short it there. I said I would not. I wanted to see what happened at the balance low. Now I said I would take a long, actually. If we got last week's low, dipped into the gap, tested the 20-day moving average, and then attempted to come back up. Well, didn't get exactly what I wanted, so I didn't take the long. So when B pushed back up into A's range, I was like, well, we have overlapping to lower value. Even though we opened and the price probe from yesterday was rejected, we haven't seen it now after we got below in A. So when B started pushing up, I took a short against M's low first, and then actually started adding. I added decent size right around L's low, which cut my loss there because I was out a decent amount. And then when it came back, I took it off, still lost just under $2,000 on that trade. If I had held it a little long, I probably would have gotten it all back because it did pull back more, but I didn't because at that point, I wasn't sure if we were going to go test the lows. Did nothing in C. Did nothing in D. E period opens. We're now 5 for 5 wide. We have overlapping to lower value. Now we did get finally above the price probe, right? We battled it all 5 time frames. So I didn't do anything yet, but when we took out the opening, I said if we take out A's high, I said I wouldn't be surprised if they possibly attempt to test the POC from yesterday and maybe H's high. I did not. Being 5 for 5 wide with overlap and lower value, not a shot did I expect what transpired here. Now, and I didn't even take the short here. I took it as soon as now, again, I should have given it a little time, but I thought we'd come back. I bought a size put as soon as we took out A's high, and obviously they just ripped me. Absolutely ripped me. Finally, I added some at the single prints fill, started getting into the upper distribution, took them off for size loss, ended up losing, over 5 figures on the day today. Not a good day at all. Traded it like an amateur. The trade in B, I managed it okay. This one, way too big, way too early above A's high. Should have given it some time to breathe, to see what we did, because if I had waited probably another 30 seconds, I would never have taken that trade because they just ripped. And that was it. My mental reserve was gone. I got destroyed financially on that trade. And, so I said, I'm not doing anything. Now, the only other trade I would have taken was in G. Because when G pulled back against F's low, that was a great risk-reward trade. Because if these buyers were going to be serious about continuing to go, they needed to hold these. Because if they took out F's low, I think they would have absolutely filled single prints. We would have been back inside the lower distribution. I wouldn't doubt if we would have gotten a wider POC. Obviously, they held it. It was a great risk-reward trade. Look at this. You never looked back. Briefly in J. Other than that, you never looked back. That's the only other trade I would have taken, and I wouldn't have held it the whole time for sure. I would have been out. Whatever I would have taken, I would have been out probably right below E and F's high. I end up in SPY with 2 sets of single prints. ES only has 1. We had a chance for 4. But where I have 2 small single prints in H, that's their afternoon pullback. We also end, I'm pretty sure, let me make sure where they have us closing at 4 o'clock. 441.15. So we had an outside day down yesterday and a double distribution day. And today we have a double distribution day to the upside and an outside day up. This is the S&P 500. And keep in mind, this is all being done inside an 8-day balance. Nothing changed in the bigger picture. Monthly's up, weekly balance, daily balance. Nothing changed. Except some incredibly erratic price action both yesterday and today to give us 2 totally opposite days. Even the volume's going to be close, although today's volume might actually be more than yesterday's with the after hours. I think yesterday, let me look. Yesterday's volume was 58 million, just under 59. We're at 54 million. So who knows? It's not going to be much different. So we're going to have polar opposite days with the same volume inside balance. We tested the balance high yesterday. We tested the balance low today. Back to test the balance high again in the afternoon. You can't make this shit up. You really can't. Only 2 destinations now to the upside. Today's high at 441.28 and the all-time high, which is a monthly high, and balance high of 441.80. And I don't have a poor high. I only have 2 cents above, so it's not poor. ES is poor at the all-time high. For the downside, now using L's high as the price probe, 440.98. Then we have my first set of single prints, 439.85, get filled at 84. That's literally 2 cents. And for the ES, J's pull is a pullback. So it's both the same thing, kind of. They have the afternoon pullback. I have 2 single prints. Then we both have E singles, 439.05, get filled at 438.67. And then we have today's low of 436.11. And you should have the rest of them from that weekly low on down. And then on the chart, just going to show you the daily, because nothing's changed, right? Now we didn't get, the 20-day moving average continued to move up today. We never got to the 20-day moving average. We didn't get as close. In fact, if I'm trying to think where it was this morning when we got down to the day's low, I'm not sure. But this shows us touching it. We never touched it. It's right now. It's at 435.94, but it's firmly an 8-day balance. They attempted today to get to the bottom of it, never even stretched it. Remember yesterday we got to within about $1 of a balance high. Today we got within 12 cents of the balance low, and then this afternoon we got within 52 cents of the balance high. This is going to be interesting when we come out of this balance. Are we going to get some good movement above it, or are we going to find crickets again at an all-time high? Or is this all they wanted to do today, is get to the top of the balance, and tomorrow we end up taking back this double distribution day and go and test the balance low again? Nothing, and I mean nothing, would surprise me in this market. Hope you had a better day than I did trading today. Back up on the horse again tomorrow. Thanks for the likes. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.